Cable Channel 6 would like to invite you to the round table.
Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable. My name is Paul DINGEMAN. I host these programs which appear in Marine City and St. Clair, now also throughout the county on Channel 12 and Channel 916. We welcome you. We always have an interesting set of guests for you. That's no different today. Today we are going to visit the St. Clair County Landfill and hear all about their renewable energy project, which is pretty exciting. Let's go out there right now to Smith's Creek. We are now with Matt Williams, right? Matt,
yes,
did I get the name right and everything?
Yes, that's correct. Matt Williams, how are you?
Matt, we are here at the Smiths Creek Landfill, and this is quite an impressive facility that you've got. Talk to me about this board behind us and what happens here.
Well, here at the landfill, the landfill is filled up with garbage. The garbage decomposes over time. The biggest byproduct of that decomposition process is something we call landfill gas, which has about a 50 to 60% methane content. Of course, methane has a lot of energy value to it. It's what natural gas is. So what we do, we have to either destroy that methane as it comes out of the landfill so it doesn't go into the atmosphere, or alternatively, we can run it into a conversion facility, a gas to energy facility such as we've constructed here, and use it for some type of beneficial reuse. What we decided to do here at the landfill is take the gas that's being given off, run it through reciprocating engines that turn generators, and convert the energy of the gas to electricity, which is put on the power grid. It's an alternative, renewable form of energy, and we're really excited about it.
Before you had this facility that we're going to talk about, what happened with the methane gas? Did you just burn it off?
Exactly. Once landfills get to be a certain size, they're required to capture that gas and destroy it. And up till a few years ago, we didn't have enough gas being generated to do anything beneficial with it. So we simply flared it and destroyed it by burning.
Let's back up and talk about the size of the landfill. You said when it gets to a certain size, you have to capture the methane gas. Mm-hmm. How big is this landfill? How old is this landfill? How much longer will this landfill last?
Well, there are parts of the landfill that was an old garbage dump, if you will. Okay. We have it's a distinction for us. We distinguish landfills from dumps because dumps are unregulated, not engineered. A landfill is an engineering marvel, really, in how we construct them and how we operate them. So early 60s, I believe, the first dumping occurred out on this property. And I believe the county purchased the property and in the mid-80s and converted it to an engineered sanitary landfill, complying with all the regulations that have been coming online to operate it. We have a total capacity of about 13 million cubic yards of waste that can be landfilled here at Smiths Creek. And we've used about half of that capacity to date. So if you think about that, and at the rate we're bringing garbage in under our current permit, we've probably got out to about 2035, 2040 right now of time to fill this landfill until it's full up. We are pursuing an expansion to the landfill which would extend that site life significantly, but we don't have that quite in place yet.
Would that be on this facility, or you be in another area of the county if you extend that license?
That expansion would be right here at Smiths Creek. In fact, we would hardly even extend it laterally. We would essentially building a little bit higher. Oh, okay. Is the idea.
Okay, so what have we got behind us here? What is this?
Well, this is a presentation board here in our education center, and this shows a quick schematic of how the landfill gas comes out of the landfill and goes through the engines and on the power grid. Basically, we've got our landfill. We have a system of pipes and wells that extract the gas from the landfill. We put a suction on the whole system and actually suck the gas out of the landfill. That goes through a condenser And the gas is compressed and dried, the moisture's taken out of it, which prepares it to go through our engines. So it goes through a transmission line into two Caterpillar 3520 engines. They're big monsters. They are about 20 cylinders, 2,300 horsepower about, and the energy guys can talk about that better than I can, but they're huge. And each engine produces 1.6 megawatts of electricity. So that energy is taken and converted from the methane to electricity in these generator sets. Then it flows through some switchgear to a substation we've constructed right next to the plant where the voltage is jacked up to line voltage, we call it, and it's put on the power grid.
Pretty cool, the whole operation.
It is very cool. This isn't anything new that's being done. Landfills have been converting gas to electricity probably for at least 30 years. And there's probably about 550 of these style plants across the United States. But we're excited about it because we're finally doing something good with that waste product we have.
The county of St. Clair recently, 4 or 5 years ago, got some patents on this process. What are you patenting?
Well, the patent we have really has nothing to do with the energy conversion process. The patent that the county owns is for injection of residential septage into a portion of the landfill.
Oh, okay.
And the idea of doing that is to speed up the decomposition rate in that part of the landfill and produce that off gas at a greater rate. And that's the main reason why when you look at our gas plant, instead of having one engine in there running, we have two. Because of that bioreactor project that we have that we hold a patent on, we've increased our gas by about 40%. And it's allowed us to install two engines and hopefully in the not too distant future, a third engine, which would be great.
All right. This facility, maybe you're not the man to answer it, but this facility generates how much electricity for an average, an average person could understand?
Well, each engine produces 1.6 megawatts, so right now it's 3.2 total.
Okay.
That's enough energy to power 3,000 homes 24 hours a day.
Okay. Now, the power that's generated here doesn't necessarily go to the home right next door to the landfill. It may go down to Algonac or it may go up to Fort Gratiot.
That's correct. Our power simply goes on the power grid and it's distributed like electricity is everywhere else.
Okay. Did we miss anything here?
No, I think we've hit all the big points.
We're here now with a couple gentlemen who are going to give us a little more information about how the sanitary landfill works and how the Edison gets the power from the plant and distributes it on their grid. With us now is Travis. What was the last name again, Travis?
HESLOP.
HESLOP, nice to meet you. And Dave Terry, we met you earlier, had a nice little tour of the plant, but we thought we'd get the two of you and get a little more information about what's going on out here. Let's start with Travis. Your responsibility is to work with the landfill itself, right,
Yep.
to help generate the power.
Correct. What I do is I do what they call tune the well field.
Okay.
I use an instrument called a GEM and take gas samples out at the landfill.
So you're climbing up on the hill and driving up there and poking a stake in the ground and finding out what's percolating.
Yep, I get the gas to Dave at the plant.
Okay. And do you do that daily, hourly, weekly? How does the process work?
Pretty much weekly.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're looking for certain types of levels of, and if something is high, something is low, what do you have to do?
Either increase or decrease the vacuum.
Okay. And is this part of the process that's patented?
No, not so much. This is
done at every
common-
landfill?
Yep, regular work.
Okay. All right. Travis, and so you keep the product coming to Mr. Terry. And now you and I had a chance to walk through the plant here. Let's go through it and talk to me again about what is behind us here.
Basically, what we have is two Caterpillar 35 series 20-cylinder engines that generate about 2,200 horsepower that spin generators that create electricity.
Is this kind of an operation going on anywhere else in the United States, in the world?
Oh, yes. I think DTE has about 55 of these plants throughout the United States.
DTE does? Throughout the United States?
Yes.
Just not in Michigan and Ohio,
No, they're all over the place.
and they're owned by DTE?
Most of them are.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Do you think this is the wave of the future? I mean, is there going to be more of this as time goes on?
Oh, absolutely. Our goal right now is to have 10% of our energy that we do produce at, how would you say it? It's going to be at least 10% by renewable energy.
So
By year
either
2000 Yeah,
either windmills or this kind of a facility?
correct. By 2015, 10% of our electricity will be generated by renewable energy.
Okay, the facility that we are in, the room we're in and the room behind us, was this all constructed by DTE or by the county?
This was constructed by the county and built for this project to be in place, and we leased the building from the St. Clair County Landfill.
So DTE, and you're an employee of DTE?
Correct.
Okay. Talk to me about now when we went in that first room, the far room over there, there was numbers of panels. Let's start with the panel that's the furthest to the north, and talk to me about that panel.
That would be my switchgear main control panel. From that panel, all of the engines, outputs, temperatures, sensors, voltages, I can read on that screen, see how the engines are running, how the generators are producing electricity, make sure there's no faults, any hazards.
And what's the next panel, next couple panels over?
The next panel over is the tie breaker that connects both engines to one big breaker that will then transmit it out to my substation. And the panels before them are engine number 1 and 2, which everything has to be separated. That way there is no faults where they tie together before they hit the main breaker.
And you told us when we were taking the tour that there is a possibility that somewhere down the line there could be a third engine.
Absolutely. Hopefully in the very near future we'll get a third engine.
Okay. Are there any pitfalls with this kind of process? Is there times that it goes down or stays up, or what kind of problems do you have?
Well, like any engine, you have to do your maintenance. Every 1,000 hours of runtime, I have to shut them down, change my oil, replace my spark plugs, do your basic maintenance, make sure you have no issues, check your generators. Just your basic maintenance. As long as you do that, the engines will last you a long time.
But you are not critical in the fact that you can shut down for an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, as opposed to the Detroit Edison power plant can't do that.
Correct. Being a renewable energy, we try to keep an online time of above 95%. And right now we're doing really well. We're at 99% runtime. So.
And you said this operation is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Yes.
You get no vacation.
You get vacation, somebody's got to cover for you, but there's always running, you're always on call.
Okay. Did we miss anything from you guys?
I think we're good.
Okay. Travis, I love your country music. You're a great country music star. Joining me now is the chairman of the board of the St. Clair County Board of Commissioners, Mr. Jeff Bohm. Nice to see you, sir.
Yeah, Paul, thanks for coming out today and getting a chance to see this facility that we've been talking about.
It's a very impressive kind of thing. Give me some of the history of it and how it all got started.
Well, I've been on the board for 7.5 years now, roughly, and right pre me getting onto the board, they had talked about developing a bioreactor process out here at the landfill, and sounded like a great concept. And we got on the board, we continued to work on it and continued to pursue that. But along with the bioreactor at the time, we had always been flaring our gas out here. And with, there had been a lot of discussions as far as what to do with the methane. And the volume at the time was marginal as far as setting up a facility. And we actually went out for some requests for proposals at the time, and we only received 3 respondents to that initial request for proposal because of the amount of the volume that we were producing. We literally were producing just enough to run 1 generator at the time, and we had been talking about the bioreactor process. So I think there was a little uncertainty in some of the other respondents as far as if the process was going to work or not. Then subsequently, after they passed some legislation that required 10% the renewables into the portfolios of the companies, we went back out for another request for proposal, and we received 14 different respondents.
Wonderful.
Now, at that time, our volume had spiked, though, too significantly through our bioreactor process. Essentially doubled the gas output, and then we were able to have enough gas to supply 2 generators, and it really, the respondents that we had, the proposals were a whole lot more significant, much more financially rewarding for St. Clair County. And at the end of the day, we sat down, we got to the short list with 3 of them, we negotiated with them, and DTE Biomass is the one that we had chosen. We worked out a long-term arrangement with them, and it's been a great partnership. The facility's actually been doing better than what's been expected, anticipated, and our bioreactor process with everything that's going on there, it's been phenomenal, and it's really, that's why we wanted to get you out to show you this, because contrary to belief, we don't screw up everything we do. It's been a great success story for us.
And it's been interesting to see that various boards, numerous boards, changing of personnel, have had the same thought, that this was a positive kind of thing for the county.
Yeah, I mean, we've served different people over the years, and this has always been something that has been completely supported by the boards, and it's finally, like I said, from 7.5 years ago, from myself to first getting introduced to the project up till 3-4 months ago when we flipped the switch to make power. So it's been a long time coming, and it's great to see that it's working out, and it's actually working out better than we anticipated, and the mathematics of the bioreactor and all that other good stuff, it's proven itself. So it's good stuff for St. Clair County.
And the possibility of adding a third generator at some point is pretty good, and that's positive too.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, let's face it, generators equate to money. So the more gas that comes off, the more power we're able to produce, the more revenue that St. Clair County is able to generate. Now, this is a long-term sustained type of income stream too. This is 20 to 25 years worth of income potential for St. Clair County.
Is there a number that you want to put with it, or
Well,
dollar number, or is it too early?
It's too early. I mean, our initial estimates for $400,000 to $500,000 that we've reported before in additional revenues, but we feel very confident that it'll be much higher than that.
Okay. Anything else, Jeff?
No, just thanks for coming out, and
not a problem.
thanks for sharing our story with the residents.
Well, that was an interesting tour of the Smiths Creek landfill and hearing all about the renewable energy project that the St. Clair County Board of Commissioners is supporting. That's about it for this edition of the Roundtable. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul DINGEMAN.